Hey, folks, I'm Tom Vassel. Welcome to Week in Review. Actually, this is from 2 weeks ago, but this tells you what we did that week, all the different reviews. I should mention, I'll tell this at the end. We're going to get started. We're going to give you some short descriptions of videos that we've done with links in the description. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, Garcia here, and last week I reviewed a couple of things. So I reviewed Gatsby, which I gave a 6 out of 10 to. This is a 2-player head-to-head game set in the world of Gatsby, kind of. And it's kind of a tug-of-war over 3 different areas. It's very abstract, it's painfully abstracted in some ways, but it's got some clever, though quite subtle play involved. No high highs, no particularly rambunctious moments. It sort of hums along. It can be very monotone. And I would love for there to be a little more pizzazz to the proceedings. But it's an okay game. It's one that I would not be opposed to trying it if you really were captivated by the 1920s kind of setting or something about it spoke to you. And then I reviewed an expansion to Life in Reterra, which is called Moonrise. And I gave that a 7 out of 10. I thought it was good, though I don't like every part of it, or at least I don't like every part of it equally. It basically has 2 things in there. The Moonrise part is the sideboard with tiles that fill up, and then they go to one of the players for victory points. And then there's just more buildings. The more buildings thing is nice. It's a good way to extend the longevity of the game. The Moonrise thing doesn't always hit. Sometimes it feels like it's really benefiting one player in an unfair kind of way. Sometimes it doesn't just do anything. It fills up and people tie, and then those things are wiped away. You do it again. So I'm of 2 minds about this one a little bit. I recommend it for anybody who plays the game a lot, though, again, the game is sort of the kind of game you buy at Target, and I don't necessarily recommend people who are comfortable with a game like this to then get more stuff and more stuff. Play the thing you like already and you already know you like. But for me personally, which is all I can do for a rating like this, yeah, I liked it. It's one I'm happy to throw in maybe about 50% of the time. So there you go. That's it for me, folks. I'll see you on the next one.
Welcome back to the continuing saga of Chris Time. This week I took a look at 5 games, the first of which, Blind Jack, a 7.5. A weird mix of 21, or blackjack, with a trivia game, but I like how it comes together. There's a few, especially production mistakes with it, a few little flaws that hold me back from broadly recommending it, but it's also one I want to play more, so 6.5. Star Wars Super Teams, I gave a 7. Very mass market kind of racing game. You're playing out cards, whether you're moving your own ships or your opponent's ships. And it's about lots of little kind of passive-aggressive, little micro passive aggressions, if you will. As you have to move ships forward, but you can move them forward inefficiently for your opponents. It's just a funny little game. Good for families. A 7. Next up, Tip of the Diceberg, a 7.5. A weird, cool card and dice shedding game. So playing a game like Scout or so, but you have a mix of cards and dice. I like how it all comes together, and you're trying to play different types of combinations of cards all within the same round. Pretty cool, ambitious little design, 7.5. Next up, How to Save a World. I give an 8. This is a neat worker placement game played over 2 parts of the board on the moon and on the planet. You're trying to blast an asteroid coming. And I like the player-driven nature of, is the laser going to destroy the asteroid? Is the shield? Or do you got to kind of get out of dodge? And depending on how players play, a different thing is going to save the world at the end of the day. I really like how it comes together. Lots of good, neat interactions with this one. And then last game was Star Trek Captain's Chair. This is the Star Trek game that I most want to keep coming back to. I really have a lot of affinity for Next Gen and Deep Space Nine, so I like playing those captains. But I like how all the captains play differently. Very involved, but very rewarding game for the amount that it requires from you. But boy, you can do a lot in this game. It feels nigh sandboxy for a deck builder. So that gets an 8 from me. And that, folks, has been Chris Time.
All right, guys, first up this week for me is going to be Blind Jack. I came in at a 6 on this game. Ultimately, I did enjoy this as a trivia game. It's a marriage of trivia and blackjack, right? And that's a really intriguing premise of a game. And I think it works pretty well. I did enjoy it. I think it takes a little bit to kind of get off the ground. Some of the questions are worded weirdly, and there's not really a good way to track where you think your score is when you're trying not to bust and go over 21. But those issues aside, I did enjoy the play. It's one that I'm probably happy to play a group and leave there with them when I'm done, but not one that I'm necessarily going to recommend off the shelf for someone to buy. So my rating on that Blind Jack is going to be a 6. Also took a look at another card game. This is going to be Graft, coming from IV Studios. I did enjoy this one. Came in at a 7.5. I love drafting, and this game was no exception to that. I think that this has a really good tension to the game as you are building up these shipments and trying to decide when to ship. And that decision of when to ship gets really tense because you want to hold out as long as possible to really maximize the scoring of that shipment. But if you hold out too long, you're going to bust and not going to be able to ship it. And then it just goes into compost, which is significantly less scoring. So I think this plays well at lower player counts. At 3 it starts, and higher player counts at 5. It just kind of changes the tension and the focus of the game. But it's one that I'm happy to get to the table. That's going to be a 7.5. Last up, I took a look at the Epic Dark Quarter. Came in at an 8 on this one. I played this mostly solo and really enjoyed the marriage of Chronicles of Crime and Destinies, and just kind of evoked both of those experiences in a really unique setting. I did have some concerns over this game. It did seem like you kind of got stuck in a rut sometimes. I think the cursing was a little over the top and unnecessary. It didn't really bring anything to the table. I understand some people use words that much, the curse words that much, but when they're all using that much, it just kind of distracts from the story. It's not bringing anything to it. But that being said, it didn't ruin my experience. I very much enjoyed it. I enjoyed the cadence of the game and find it to be a very interesting premise. Enjoyed playing through that. So that is going to be Dark Quarter. Came in at an 8 for that. It's going to be all for me this week. Let's keep going.
Hey everybody, I'm Joey Evans, and here's what I reviewed this week. First off, it was Time Zoo. Time Zoo is a very cute card game that you create a zoo from animals with different eras. It's very cute. My family enjoyed it. 6.5. Then also Star Wars Super Teams. This is more of a family weight game. This is you're racing all the different Star Wars ships and things, and it's very cute. It plays about 30 minutes. I enjoy this a lot. And then we're jumping to Star Trek Captain's Chair. This game I liked a lot. I gave this a 9. This is a 2-player game, or it's also solo, but I play it 2 players. This is a lot of fun, and it's got great theming with it, so give this a chance. My name is Joey Evans, and that's what I reviewed this week.
Hi, I'm Wendy Ye, and this week I have 2 6.5s. So the first is Propolis. This is a game of almost for me. That 6.5 rating really is, it's almost at that 7, but it's just missing. And I feel like there's a lot of mechanisms in this that I find really fun, but they're almost there. Generally I like them, but the way that they implemented them were just not quite. And then the next one is Tip of the Diceberg, and this one, also 6.5. It's almost there. I really enjoy the gameplay itself. It is backwards from what my brain thinks it should be, but the rules don't have all the rules in the rule book. Instead, some of the rules are on a side card. The clarification of some of the symbols is very confusing, so it can't quite be a 7 for me because of all of that, but the actual gameplay is fun. So if you're okay to get past all of that and actually figure out how to play it, then maybe you'd enjoy it. So there you go. Those are the 2 games on my list. Let's go ahead and see who's next.
Hey there everybody, it's Mike Delissio, and this week I reviewed a couple of games. Let's start off with Graft. Graft is a game I gave a 7 out of 10 to. It is a drafting game from IV Studios where you are going to be looking at a hand of cards. Everyone is simultaneously going to choose one face down and then reveal it face up, and you're placing it into a line in front of you going from left to right. Each card is going to have different scoring conditions, but there is a push your luck element because as you're playing the cards from left to right, there are certain restrictions that keep piling up, and if you get to the point where you can't legally place a card, you bust. A clever little game, nice art and graphic design on that one. And then I reviewed Magic Number 11, which I gave an 8 out of 10. This is a 2-player game that is themed around football or soccer, and each team is going to be placing cards on their side of a field that's in between both players, and they're going to allow you to take certain kind of tactical actions where you might be able to change the position of your team, going from more an aggressive stance to a more defensive stance, trying to shoot and make goals. Really clever card game, and I think that especially if you like that sport, then it's one you should definitely check out. But even if you don't, hey, maybe you like just this push and pull 2-player kind of game. All right, well, that's going to do it for me this week. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, so for me, I took a look at How to Save a World, a fun game about building a laser to stop an asteroid from hitting your planet or a shield, or just get everyone out of Dodge. It's a lot of fun, 8 out of 10. I took a look at Mythicals. I really want to like Mythicals, but unfortunately it's just too boring to enjoy. There's just not enough there, 5 out of 10. Santorini, I took a look at all the different little expansions for Santorini. So if you want to see which ones you should get, there's 4 different packs, lots of extra powers. Propolis, this is another game. I gave this a 5. I just didn't enjoy Propolis. It's too little, not enough stuff going on. There's some cool ideas in it, and parts of it look beautiful, but it's just not a fun game. 10B looks beautiful and is a fun game about building streets out and getting points for putting clouds and things out there. I enjoyed this one a lot, another 8 out of 10. I did 6 short game reviews. You can check those out. Some interesting things you'll find there. And then we reviewed Star Trek Captain's Chair. Wow, what a game. 9 out of 10. This game takes Imperium, a deck building game, adds a Star Trek theme to it, and does a really good job in that regard. Last week, we did a lot of other short reviews over the course of the week. I did a couple of essays. There's just some various videos going up, so check them out. Just some cool little stuff to keep you there while we ran a Dice Tower retreat. And now we're back, folks. Watch this week for more heading your direction. I'm Tom Vassel, and you've been watching Week in Review on the Dice Tower. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, if you would love to game with us at one of our conventions, check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vassel.
Very cute card game. Let's start that again. Whew. It's weird. I've been around a zoo too long. Kind of get stuck in your lungs, those mammoths.